been a minute, but we're finally delivering. Welcome to the second devlog for Impact Arena. I'm Hal, and I'll take you through what we've been working on since we checked in last. Now, let's get the big one out in the open first and foremost. We have put a ton of effort into upping our polish ever since the open test. We kind of realized that the game was, frankly, a little ugly. Without a dedicated VFX guy, a lot of attention had to be split. With the newfound time after closing the game, though, we've gotten the chance to put a ton of time into a huge FX overhaul. Visuals, sounds, all of it's gotten an update. Not just for characters, but also for things like Heart Slam, Splatter, or Guard Break. It's one big, sweeping polish pass. We'll let some footage of the new effects for characters play by right now. Quick thank you to Soup for the Guts visual overhaul. It looks amazing and took a huge workload off us. Back to it, game feels finally getting a big polish pass as well. Go figure, with a lot of changes around our M1 system and hit feedback. M1s now apply a velocity, moving you forward and dragging enemies along with you. Think of it as a toned down version of ABA's M1s. M1s have also gotten a new finisher property for final M1s, which will have a much meatier impact and make them feel stronger overall. A lot of people like to mash M1s on ragdolls, and that led to the new player experience of combat being a little janky, so hitting a ragdoll with a basic attack will make your next M1 skip all the way to your final M1. And alongside the previous devlog's character and combat changes, that also came with those hitbox adjustments, we've overhauled the math behind client hitboxes as a whole, which should fix our, let's say, inaccurate hitboxes. Alongside those nice changes to the game feel, a big part of our polish pass was fixing up the game under the hood. If you were around for our first open test, you'd know firsthand how rough around the edges the game was initially. Between the jank hitboxes, lack of polish, and performance issues, Impact Arena had a lot to improve on. We're happy to say that the time since last devlog was spent focusing solely on upping our game feel and optimization. Optimization is pretty hard to gauge without extensive documentation that we don't really have on hand, but I'll rapid fire some of the big changes real quick. A large-scale server-side recode that moved the entire game off of the G system. That was a big performance boost and freed up a lot of resources. Making the entire projectile system client-based, since projectiles being out and alive caused a high network data send to the client. Having like 5 Roaring Night Stars active at once would eat up over half of the recommended memory. With the new system, you can have hundreds of projectiles active at once with very little performance issues at all. New setup for how the game moves you between servers. Now we create unique instances rather than having the main menu occupy the same space as Publics. There's a couple of smaller ones here and there, but they're either character specific or something we're omitting for the sake of brevity. Now, real quick, let's go over some future plans if you let our B-roll run. We've been making good progress ever since the beginning of May. Things had to slow down for a while during college, mostly because of finals, but it's nothing we can't come back from. We're overhauling a bunch of UI to generalize stuff and make them more legible, new public server systems, a whole lot of junk to make the game more replayable and new player friendly in preparation for the next time we get it out there. We're currently trying to commission a bunch of things like maps, some new effects we missed, some models here and there, making progress on chipping away their huge to-do list, essentially, but do keep in mind there were still only like 3 main developers working on a game of this scale, so do expect some hiccups along the way. There's a whole lot of things I can't show you, like the models for new characters and the already finished or partially finished new characters in question, but we'll be able to show them off when we're ready to, at least. Beyond all that, we're happy that people are still interested in the game. Obviously, it's not some massive hype train, but seeing that the game still has a place in the hearts of our community, it gives us that little push to work just a bit harder. We'll make sure that the wait is worth it, or at least a big step in the direction of being worth it. Thanks for keeping up to date with our progress, and don't forget to pick up the sneak peeks roll if you're interested in seeing the breadcrumbs as we work our way to the next devlog, or more, could be. It's always a pleasure to bring you guys some good news. I hope you're having a great summer so far, because I know I'm going to spend mine basically chained to the computer. Till next time.